Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, these are not.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, she does. She likes to use the carrot. Yep.
Yes.
Whatever it was.
I think so. Maybe. Yeah. That's my problem.
You know, I can't do that pretty much.
Yeah.
She can sit on there. I don't think so.
So how is everybody? Yeah? Belly still full? Did anybody travel or was everybody here? Everybody here? Family in or no? No? So quiet or friends Thanksgiving? What's it called? Friendsgiving? Friendsgiving. Well, good. And a rare rainy morning. Maybe we'll keep the lights on initially. Yay! I know, look, your spot is here. Your spot's here. Are there any more blocks?
Yeah. Let's see if
Yeah.
we're loading that next
All
thing.
right, let's make a couple of blocks.
Welcome.
We don't have a way to pass the link on your phone. Like to-
Oh, let me see if I can sign you.
Yeah, do you mind just to make sure it's working? Oh, wait, or Joyce said that she could.
Oh, she. get covered up?
Yeah,
So you don't need to do this.
I don't think, she said sure, so let's see. I just want to make sure that I logged in correctly. So, you know, it's hard to focus one thing at a time. So I left my sister's and got to the airport an hour and a half drive later and realized I left my laptop at my sister's house. Oh, good, it's working. So, yeah, I think so. Oh, good. So now you have to stay for class. So can you hear me okay? I can't hear you though, so I think you're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted.
Okay, but you can hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, good, good. Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to see you Thursday.
All right, wonderful. Have fun cleaning up. Bye.
Right.
All right, good. So, so this is such a classic case of how we can apply our yoga practice on and off of our mat. So instead of freaking out, because my life, I mean, in addition to teaching yoga, I do part-time marketing. I also, I don't know, in a very weak moment, volunteered to do the yearbook for Aiden's grade for the school this year. He's a 5th grader, so I figured I'd go out with a bang. So my whole life is my laptop. So then I started to think through, I'm like, wait a minute, we have an iPad.
Yeah, my phone.
The kids have, yeah, so much can happen on the phone. The kids have Chromebooks. So anyway, just took some breaths And also, instead of paying for like the most expensive FedEx, like I can manage, I can get through this. But it is, and I read an interesting little quote this morning just about how this time in particular, how important it is to be able to focus on one thing at a time. There's so much going on with the holidays, and it's a lot of distraction, a lot coming at you. I mean, just email alone with all the sales, Cyber Monday. So it's our practice can help us with that focus. So I thought, what better way to help us with that focus than the warrior poses? The warrior poses, hi, come on in. Close that door. Yeah, it's like the energy. I know, the energy thing. Yep. Is this one the same size? Oh, no, they're not. Yep. I know. Wait, no, I'll take two separate ones. Okay. Well, that's right. These two are the, yeah. Those are blocks. You want to go right in the middle? Sure. Take a little space right here. Perfect. So the warrior poses really help us to be able to focus. They, when we're in warrior one, our hips are forward. Good morning, is that Michelle? Hi. Our hips are forward. We're looking for extension in the back leg. We're bending the front leg, and so many things can come into your mind while you're in the pose, but our warrior poses remind us of our inner strength and the ability to focus on the pose versus external. Hello, come on in.
One of these I have to get stuck up.
Or if your friends in the back row want to make a little space for you. Let's see if anybody else is on. Oh, good. Catherine's on. Hi, Deb. So ladies, I'm having to use my iPad today. So hopefully the sound is as good and that you can see. Can everybody see okay and hear me okay? Awesome. Great. Yeah. Two. There we go. Sounds good. There we go. Yep. So I just spotlighted my video. So, and then I'm going to mute everyone. And then we should be good to go. So for those that just joined us, we're talking about the warrior poses and having that be our focus this morning. So let's all find a seat. So use the block to prop yourself up in hero's pose or in Sukhasana. Rose, if you come forward on the block just a little bit, so the sits bones, so instead of the whole bottom resting on it, that the sits bones are, and maybe your knees, you might find that your knees can drop forward a little bit, or separate a little bit. Is that worse or okay? All right, so spine nice and long. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Use like Karen's doing. See how she's got the blocks?
She can sit there.
Yeah. I was gonna say how Karen's got the blocks and Rose. So Rose, scoot up just a little bit and turn your blocks. So they're the other direction, going the same direction as your mat, in between the ankles. Yeah. And then you can sit. Yeah. No better? Yeah. And then the knees can draw a little closer together. So what we're looking for is some nice length in the spine as you find your seat. So inhale through the nose. And give a sigh out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Another sigh out through the mouth. And see if you can just let your eyes close, or it's a soft gaze looking down. And take a moment to do a body scan and notice anywhere in the body that seems to be working a little harder than maybe it needs to. So when we bring our attention to a focal point, it helps to calm the chatter going on in our mind. So we'll do that right now with just a very simple breath awareness. So just be aware of your inhales and exhales, not manipulating them in any way, just noticing. While you notice the breath, tuning into the breath, you might also hear external sounds. You might notice a scent. But as you notice your senses working, take a moment to then bring your attention back to your breath. Just this simple breath awareness of our natural inhales and exhales. And notice any sensations that are happening as you just tune into one focal point. And then move one hand over your chest and one hand to your low belly to move into pranayama, into a 3-part yogic breath where we inhale a third of the way. So that third is your seat to your navel. And then the next third will fill up your rib cage. And then the next third will move up to that upper hand in your collarbone. And then you exhale a third into the rib cage, and a third down into your low belly. So we'll begin, inhale a third, the next third into your rib cage, and the next third reaching up to your collarbone, and then exhale a third from collarbone to rib cage, and then rib cage to belly, low belly. Inhale a third into the low belly, and the next third into the rib cage, and the next third to your collarbone. And exhale a third, and a third. Keep moving through that yogic breath on your own. Really noticing how the breath fills up that area of the body as you breathe in a third and exhale a third. complete. Don't rush. Complete it on your own time, the last exhaling in thirds. When the round's complete for you, bring your hands to your heart center in prayer. So warrior poses symbolize strength, empowering, focus, and our breath. How our breath is moving through our body in these poses. So form an intention this morning as it relates to one of those traits. How those traits together or individually have an impact on you. And then we'll Om together. And I thought we'd do a little different exercise with our Om this morning. So Om is actually spelled A-U-M. And we'll break it into those three sounds this morning and then put it together. So take an inhale, exhale it out. And then on the next exhale, we'll say ah. So inhale, ah. Do that again, inhale, ah. One more time, inhale, ah. The next sound is ooh. So we'll inhale, ooh. Inhale, ooh. Inhale, ooh. And the last part of the Om sound is when we put our lips together and make the sound. So inhale, 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 and then putting it all together, inhale, ah. Again, inhale, ah. One more time. So the sound of Om is meant to create a vibratory effect. It's meant to connect our energies and us to our energetic body. And flicker the eyes open, coming back to this space, rocking forward, finding child's pose. So let's start with a wide-legged child's pose, where we take our knees as wide as our mat, bring our toes to touch. Move your seat back towards your heels and then extend your arms out in front of you, seeing if you can lower your chest and forehead toward the mat. If it doesn't reach naturally, slide a block underneath your forehead for extra support. And there's nothing wrong ever with using a block. And breathe here. So notice the breath. Notice the breath as it fills up the belly. Our Ujjayi breath, breath of victory, where we place a constriction in the back of our throat. That constriction we place on the back of our throat on our exhale. And this breath helps to modulate our practice, helps to create a rhythm. So at any point when you've maybe lost your focus on your breath, mindfully, purposely create this Ujjayi breath. And that will help bring your attention, your focus back to your breath. On your inhale, begin lifting up your torso. If your knees were close together, try and separate them a little bit, because we're going to walk our hands over to the left. Bring our torso over the left thigh. Straighten the arms, reaching them out in front, reaching the right hand, especially a little bit in front of the left, to help stretch that whole right side of our body. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. If you feel that right sits bone lifting up, see if you can push that right sits bone toward the heel. Getting a little bit more length for this right side. One more full breath. Breathe into the rib cage. And exhale it out, and then lift up a little bit so you can walk back through center. Over to the right side, and now reaching forward with the left hand. So that left arm, see if you can extend it, straighten it, and now breathing into those intercostal muscles on the left side body. If your left sits bone lifted up, see if you can move that left sits bone back down on the heel, toward the heel. Breathe in, breathe out. And then inhale to lift up, come to center, and then lift yourself into tabletop. Bring the knees under the hips, tops of the feet on top of the mat. Draw the belly in. And then inhale, lift the crown of the head, lift, tilt the tailbone up, coming into cow pose. And exhale, round the spine. Draw the belly in even more. Inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cat. So when you are in cow pose and inhaling, we always inhale when we're doing a chest opener. So we're able to draw that breath into the heart space, into the open chest. And on your exhale, we're opening across the upper back in cat pose. So one more, and see if you can exaggerate the breath with the movement. And then finding neutral. And then pushing our seat to our heels, coming up onto our knees, float the arms overhead. Exhale, slide the arms alongside your legs, dropping the crown of the head toward the mat. Inhale, float to tabletop. Push your seat back to your heels and then sit up on your knees, float the arms overhead. Exhale into a child's pose, just for a breath. And then inhale to tabletop. We're gonna add lower knees, chest, chin on your exhale. And then inhale, slide forward onto your belly. And then tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels. And lift up onto your knees, float the arms overhead. And then lower the arms, crown of the head toward the mat. Inhale to tabletop. Lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward onto the belly and then push your seat to your heels. So a little bit of a modified sun salutation. Stand up on your knees, float the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, child's pose, dropping crown of the head to the mat. Inhale to tabletop. So lower knees, chest, chin, rotate the elbows to the top of the mat. Hug those elbows in as you lower it with control, slide forward onto the belly. Tops of the feet on the mat, adding cobra. So hug the elbows into your side body. Inhale, lift the upper body. Lengthen down through the tailbone. And then exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels. Lift up onto your knees. Inhale the arms overhead, palms touch. And then exhale, arms alongside, crown of the head drops. Child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward onto the belly. Tops of the feet on the mat, lengthen down through your tailbone as you lift the upper body, cobra. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels. And then rise up onto your knees. Take the left leg out to the side, setting up for gate pose. So I'll face this way. Make sure the side of your foot is parallel with the wall. Inhale the right arm up by your ear. Walk your left fingertips down the leg as you reach through the right fingertips. So we're doing a side bend, but we're thinking about lengthening that right side. Beautiful. See if we can get that right arm by the ear. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower down. Bring that left knee in. Take the right leg out to the side. Planting that right foot. Edge of the foot parallel with the wall. Lengthen down through the tailbone. Inhale, left arm lifts. Right fingertips walk down the leg. So with each inhale and exhale, making any little adjustments, maybe in the shoulder. Maybe notice if this side is a little tighter than the other side. So our hips carry a lot of our emotions. And when we have tight hips, it could lead to low back pain. So we want to open those hips up and then bring that right knee in. Rock forward to tabletop. So a little engagement for our core. So here's where I'll see who had the most turkey. So press into the tops of your feet and lift your knees up. So just the shins coming off of the mat an inch. Press into the tops of the feet. You feel it in your core? Everybody feel it in the core? Yeah. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more full inhale and exhale, lower down. Push your seat to your heels, arms fully extended. So straighten the elbows, arms straight, and come up on your fingertips, your wrists lifting up off the mat. And now pull the mat back towards you. So you feel that in your shoulders? Yeah. So pressing into your fingertips and then pulling back. Pull back. Feel it in the shoulders, yeah. And then rock forward to tabletop. Tuck your toes under now and lift your knees up. So your shins are an inch off the mat, so another engagement for our core. Also strong arms, strong shoulders. So if you feel like you're dumping into your shoulders, see if you can soften there. Bring your attention to your core. One more full inhale and exhale, and then lower the knees down. Rotate elbow creases to the front of the mat. Lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward onto your belly, and we'll set up for rolling cobras. So bring your hands by your lowest set of ribs. Draw your elbows in toward your side body. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. And lengthen down through your tailbone. And now inhale as you lift the upper body, but keeping that engagement, the tops of the feet pressing in. So try not to straighten the arms, just keep the elbows drawing in toward the side body. Bring those elbows in. And now lift again on your inhale. So we're not straightening the arms, we're just here. So elbows hugging in, and then exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels, and now move into downward facing dog. So hips lift up toward the ceiling. Pedal out your downward dog. Make any organic movements that you want. You can flip forward to plank and then push back to downward dog as an option. Or you can just find stillness. You can lift up on your tiptoes, heels lifting. And then everybody finds stillness in this next breath. And just take a moment to notice. Notice if you're feeling like the shoulders are working hard, if you're dumping weight into your wrists. And now lift your gaze, look between your hands. Walk one footprint at a time up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Draw the belly in. Find a flat back. Float the arms up out to the sides, forming a T. And now press into your feet. Lift the back to stand. Arms float overhead. Bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms around overhead, palms touch. Bring the hands to heart center. Hinge at your hips. Come into your forward fold. Let the head hang. Shake the head, yes. And no. Yes. And no. And then bend your knees. Bring your seat toward your heels. Float the arms up by your ears, chair pose. Inhale, straighten the legs. A little arch back of the upper back, opening the heart. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, do that sequence one more time. Bring the hands to heart center as you hinge forward, coming into Uttanasana. Bend the knees, your seat moving towards your heels, and then float the arms up by the ears, chair pose. Full breath in, full breath out. Straighten the legs, fold in half, forward fold, Uttanasana. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. And then reach for your blocks and place your blocks on either side of your feet at the medium height, the middle height. Bend your knees. Take the right leg as far back as you can, hips drop, coming into low lunge. Straighten the right leg. Push that heel toward the windows. And left knee forming a 90-degree angle. Right hand stays on the block. Inhale, left arm up, opening to a twist. So right hand is facing the TV. Say hi to the TV. So with your hand facing the TV, it helps to create a rotation in the shoulder. And then exhale, lower that left hand down, drop the right knee down, uncurl the toe. Inhale the arms, floating them up by the ears, Anjaneyasana. Inhale and exhale, bend the elbows, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus arms, and now interlace the hands behind the head. Take the elbows out wide, open the chest up to the ceiling. A little back bend for the upper back. One more full breath in. And then exhale, release the hands to the block. Take the blocks to the highest height under your shoulders. Shift your hips so your right hip is in line with your right knee, and now turn your left toes up. So you're resting on your left heel, and this left leg is straight. And your right hip is in line with your right knee. And then slowly begin to hinge forward, drawing the chest toward that left knee. Left foot stays flexed. So this is called half Hanumanasana, or split. If you can flex this left foot a little bit. Beautiful. Nice alignment, everyone. One more full inhale. And exhale, and then inhale to lift up. Plant that left foot. Bring your blocks forward to the middle height again. Tuck your right toes under and lift up. And then step this right foot in about 1.5 feet. Straightening both legs. Draw the left hip back. Pyramid pose. If you need to put the blocks at the highest, modify. So feel like your spine is getting some length here. So both legs are straight, straightening, finding that extension. And then bend the left knee a little bit, step that right foot forward. Lift up halfway, find that flat back, float the arms out to the side. Inhale the arms overhead, palms touch, hands to heart center. And then we'll bend the knees, blocks at the middle height, and stepping the left leg back as far as you can, finding low lunge on the other side. So left leg now really extended, really straighten that left leg. Right knee in line with right ankle. And then we'll twist on this side. So plant this left hand on the block as you lift the right arm, twisting open to the right, reaching through the right fingertips. Say hi to the exit. Reach through. The difference between length and back. Beautiful, everyone. Lowering that right hand down and then dropping left knee down and curl the toe. Inhale, flip the arms. So we inhale, lengthening the arms, not lifting the shoulders to our ears. Shoulders move away from the ears, but we're lengthening the arms. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lengthen. This time, sweep the arms behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Extend the arms. Lift the chest. Breathe into the chest. Maybe the arms lift off the back just a little bit more, opening the shoulders. And then inhale the arms by the ears. Exhale then down to the blocks. Turn the blocks to the highest. Shift your hips a little back so your left hip and left knee are in line. And now flip the right toes up. Flex the right foot. So you're resting on that heel. Lengthen the spine as you hinge forward. So deep stretch for the hamstring muscle. So keeping that right foot flexed. Try not to sit back. There you go, yeah. So the alignment is key versus how deep you're holding. Beautiful. And then rock forward to plant that right foot. Tuck the left toes under, lift to low lunge, bring the blocks to frame that right foot. And then step the left foot in about a foot, foot and a half. Straighten both legs. Draw that right hip back a little bit to have your hips in line with each other. And then we lengthen the spine as we hinge forward. Equal pressure in the feet. Beautiful. And then bend the right knee a little bit to step that left foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, and step both feet back to plank pose. Holding plank for 3 breaths. So again, working our core. So straight line of energy. So if you feel like you're collapsing in the back, draw the belly in a little. One more full inhale, and then lift the hips, downward facing dog. See if you can bring your feet closer together so that your toes are touching. And then dropping heels toward the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, lifting the right leg up. 3-legged dog, level your hips out. Flex that right foot, push that heel to the windows. Exhale, lower that right leg down. Inhale, lift the left leg. So only where your hips are level. So level the hips. Push that heel, left heel to the windows, lengthening that leg. And then exhale, lowering it down. Look between your hands and either a light hop to the front of your mat or walk your feet up. And inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here, pause, close your eyes. Recall your intention. Maybe sigh the breath out on your exhale and then return to breathing in and out through your nose. Bringing your focus back to your breath. Hands to hips. So there's two different ways that we typically get into warrior one. One way is by stepping the foot back to a high lunge, dropping the heel down. And then the other way is from downward dog, we'll bring a foot forward, drop the heel down, and lift up. So we're gonna do it both ways so that you're familiar with them and you can do them then in any sequence that's thrown your way. So let's start first in high lunge. Feet shoulder distance apart. Spread your toes. Root down through the feet, hands to hips. Put a little bend in your knees. And lift the right foot. Step that right foot back. Keep your heel lifted to start. So by doing that, we're aware that our hips are facing forward. Now, drop that right heel down. But notice how that right hip wants to turn with the foot. So your hands on the hips help keep the hips facing forward. And then also look down and notice that when we stepped back, so we're on 2 planks of wood. If you have your right foot behind your left, it's a lot harder. So bring that, if you notice that, bring your right foot out to the side where you can imagine standing on 2 planks of wood. So your stance as far as the width, if your bended knee is going past your big toe, then you have an opportunity to widen your stance. So we do want to work toward bending that front knee toward a 90-degree angle. It doesn't have to happen right away, but that's where we're going. Full extension in the back leg. And then when you feel stable, the arms can float up to the ears. And then close your eyes for a moment. Focus on your breath. Open the eyes. Bring your awareness straight ahead at a drishti to focus on. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Step the left leg back. Plank, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So we're going to move into it from our downward dog now. So same side. So we stepped the right leg back. So lift the left leg up for three-legged dog, only hip height. Draw that left knee into your chest and step that foot forward as close to your hands as you can. So that left knee is already bending. Drop the right heel down. Notice that your feet are on 2 separate planks of wood. And then begin to lift the torso, pressing into that left foot as you lift. So some feel that this takes a little bit more work.
because you're really using and engaging your core to lift up versus moving into it from high lunge, but same pose, hips are faced forward. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the hands to the hips and then press into the left foot, step that right foot forward. So we'll do the same sequence other side. Take a moment, hands into prayer. Full inhale, exhale it out, and whatever happened with that side, just let it go. Focus. Know that our sides are different. So now bring hands to hips, bend the knees, weight in the right foot. Step that left foot back. So keep the heel lifted to start. Focus on hips face forward. Now drop that left heel down. Hips, if they moved a little bit, bring that left hip forward. Check in with your right knee. If you need to widen your stance, you can see I'm like moving my toes up forward a little bit. And then once you feel rooted and grounded, float the arms up by the ears. And if you're able to, you don't have to, but see if you can just close your eyes for a breath. And when you close your eyes, trust in the rooting down of the feet, that strength and power. Open the eyes again. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step the right foot back, plank, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up, hip height. Draw the right knee into your chest. Step that right foot forward. Drop left heel down, notice. Feet are on two different planks of wood. So again, this requires a little bit more from our core. So engage, draw the navel in as you lift the torso, pressing into the feet, arms come up to the ears. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. Everyone's back leg looks really extended. Hips are facing forward. Strong gaze. And then exhale, hands down to the mat. Step the right foot back to plank. Let's take a child's pose in between. So either the knees can be close together or they can be wide, whichever is your preferred child's pose. And just let the arms be relaxed. Gather your breath in your belly. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly begin to roll up to sitting on your heels. Rock forward to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Look between your hands, either light hop or walk the feet up to the top. And lift up halfway. Float the arms out to the side. Press into your feet, lift all the way to stand. Hands to heart center, Tadasana. So moving into Warrior Two. So Warrior Two also has many ways to move into the pose. So we will revisit Warrior One. So let's start, do high lunge. So hands to hips. Weight in left foot, step the right foot back, drop that heel. Hips are squared, facing forward. This is not an easy task to go from front hip opener to a side hip opener.
but it's done all the time in sequencing, so it's good to learn it. So arms come up by the ears. So you twist open to the right, dropping the right arm down. So the trick is you have to reposition that back foot so that your heels are more in line. And then the hips can open to the side. If you're standing on two different planks of wood, it makes it harder. So that's the hard transition. We go from warrior one to warrior two. We have to shift that back leg to be in line with the front. So left knee bending toward a 90-degree angle. Your right arm is coming straight out from the shoulders. And your gaze is looking out. Your gaze is looking out over the left arm. So everybody looking at the mirrors. Lengthening that back leg. So if you're feeling a lot of heat in that left thigh, press into the outer edge of the back foot. Straighten that left leg. Rebend. Spiral the hands down and pivot that back foot. Low lunge, step the left foot to meet the right. Downward plank pose and then downward dog. Lift the left leg, three-legged dog. Draw that left knee into your chest and step the left foot forward. So this is the other way to get into warrior two. Drop that right heel down. Yeah, I know. But going into it, so now, same side again.
Okay.
So now begin to lift the right arm, spiraling open into warrior two. Personally, I find that easier to get into warrior two than from warrior one. Everybody has a personal preference. Because here, from low lunge, dropping the back heel, your hips are open. Spiral the hands down, come back to low lunge plank, downward dog. Look between your hands, walk your feet up. And bend the knees, roll up to standing. So now we'll do the other side. So we put a little weight into our right foot. Step the left leg back, starting in high lunge. Drop the left heel, warrior one. Drop the left arm, twist open to the left. Fix your back foot so the heels are in line with each other. Look at your back arm, make sure it's coming straight out from the shoulders. And then look forward. Gaze strong over your right fingertips. Soften the shoulders, lengthen through the arms. Start spiraling the hands down, pivot your back foot, step back to plank and downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Draw the right knee into your chest, step it forward. Drop that left heel down, bend the right knee, inhale the left arm, spiraling it up into warrior two. So think here in warrior two about your spine being perpendicular to the floor. Lengthening the arms. Torso up and down, shoulders stacked with your hips. Spiral the hands down, pivot that back foot. Step the right foot back, drop the knees, child's pose. And everybody take a big sigh out through your mouth.
Good work, everybody. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then slowly begin to roll up to sitting on your heels and then shift off to your left hip. Swing the legs around. So sitting up nice and tall, move the flesh away from your sits bones. Flex your feet. Inhale the arms up by the ears. Begin to hinge forward. At the point that your back's going to round, if you're able to reach and hold on to the toes or hands alongside the legs. You close the eyes here, 5 deep inhales and exhales. Tracing your breath. See if you can add a count to it. So inhaling to 4 and exhaling to 4. Inhale, lifting up, drawing that right knee into your chest, dropping it out to the side, so the sole of your right foot is on the inside of the left leg. Inhale, arms up by the ears, flex that left foot and reach forward as you hinge. Close the eyes. Tracing your inhales and exhales. Breathing in. See where you can soften on your exhale. Relax the elbows. Relax the brow. Your next inhale lifts you up. Bring that right knee up with you and extend it out. Draw the left knee in. Let it drop out to the side, sole of the foot against the inside of the right leg, flexing the right foot. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Find that length. And then reach the hands toward the mirrors as you hinge forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften shoulders. Soften the jaw. Soften elbows. And inhale to lift up. Move that left leg out. Bring the hands behind you, windshield the feet back side to side. Bend the knees, walk the feet out as wide as your mat. Hands, fingertips facing out. And just windshield the knees from side to side. So slowly, so match your breath. So inhale through center. And exhale, lowering them down. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower down. Bring them back to center. Bring your hands in front of your shins. Just draw your chest through your knees. Wonderful. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, round your spine, touch your chest. Inhale, bring your chest through, lengthen. And exhale, round the spine, tuck chin to chest, and keep going. Lower all the way down to the mat. So keep your feet where they are and let your knees come together. So feet are as wide as the mat. Let your knees start to move toward each other. So starting here in this constructive rest. So make the legs be as effortless. Bring your hands to your belly. Feel your breath in your body. Allowing yourself to be breathed here. And then stay in this constructive rest if you like the feeling, if it feels good for your stillness, or option to extend the legs out straight onto the mat. The hands can either stay on the belly or come alongside the body. Strength, empowerment, focus, breath. Anything that annoys you is teaching you patience. Anyone who abandons you is teaching you how to stand up on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Anything that has power over you is teaching you how to take your power back. Anything you hate is teaching you unconditional love. Anything you fear is teaching you courage to overcome your fear. Anything you can't control is teaching you how to let go. By Jackson Card. Letting your breath return to its natural state.
The growth of our spiritual warrior includes developing the courage, unwavering focus, and determination to deal with our life's challenging moments. Start to deepen your breath and invite small movements back in. If you found yourself judging your warriors today, if they weren't quote unquote perfect, if you lost focus at any point, just know that where you were was correct. If you found yourself at any point just in the present moment without any judgment, then you had a flicker of that strength, that courage. Breathe in joy from that feeling. Inhale the arms overhead, take a long stretch. Exhale as you draw the knees into your chest, rolling on to one side or the other. And when you get to that side, take a pause before coming up to a seat, just to allow the energy to return to your body. Coming up to a seat when you're ready. And keeping the eyes at a soft gaze or closed, bringing the hands to your heart center. Bow the head softly, take a moment to thank yourself for being here for this time of self-care. We'll close the practice with the sound of Om. So we'll first inhale, and on the exhale say Ah, and then next exhale will be Ooh. Next exhale will be and then we'll put it together. So take a clearing breath, inhale, exhale it out. Inhale. Ah. Ooh. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Thank you so much for allowing me to lead you in your practice. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. So much, and thank you to our friends online.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being with us.
Thanks, Nancy.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'll be here Thursday. Yoga and meditation, 9:30 to